Let's look at how to do a nested loop. So I want to do a nested loop where I draw a rectangle out of stars. So let's go ahead and make something called nest loop.asm. And in it, I'm going to have a section for my data. Now, this one is a little trickier because I am going to be recovering or reusing numbers again and again and again. So each column I need to have that restored again and again. So I will go ahead and create a double word for this. So let's do 5 columns and rows. Let's do that also double word. Let's do 3 rows. I'm going to have a star character, and that's just a byte. So I can define a single byte. And I want a new line character, and that one is just going to be a new line character. All right. Next, I need to make sure start is global. So create a text section with the global start. And then I go ahead and I create my start. And the first thing I want to do in the start is save my or get my number of rows because I'm going to be counting down rows. So I'll move in SX. So this is going to be grabbing part or grabbing the double and putting into the register. Let's put it in RCX, and I'm going to be grabbing just the double word portion, even though the register is bigger than that. And I want to zero fill it, so I'll use the label rows, and this is basically just get the number of rows. So move normally does it, but because these are RCX and rows, or what's actually this right here, are different sizes, we use move SX and then use the D word to tell it how big it is. Otherwise you get weird things. All right, I need an outer loop. Loop. And in my outer loop, the first thing I want to do is, well, I'm going to be doing each of the columns now. So I do each of the rows, and in each of the columns, I need to know how many columns there are, and I have to refresh this every time. So I'll move SX RBX D word, and this would be my calls. So get the number of columns. All right, and then inside this outer loop thing, I'm grabbing the number of columns, and I know that I'm going to be going through this multiple times. I can just decrement the RCX right now because it doesn't really matter. Number of remaining rows after this row. And then I'm going to go ahead and write the row out. So the row needs to be written out with some kind of an inner loop. So let's say write a full row. And this is my inner loop. And in the inner loop, I want to figure out, first of all, I have this RBX, which is the number of columns. I want to figure out, have I printed out all those? So I will compare my RBX to 0, and if it's less than or equal to 0, then I'm going to jump out. So inner end maybe to end this inner loop. Jump out if no more columns. All right. At this point, I can go ahead and decrement the number of columns. So dec RBX, and just then we know that we are one less. All right, now I'm going to write a star, and this part right here is going to be repeated multiple times. So write a star, and for this I need to move my RAX value 1 for a system write. I need to move RDI value of 1 for standard out. I want to move RSI, the address of the star, and I'm going to move into RDX the value 1 for the number of characters to print. And at this point I do a syscall, but one of the things we want to be careful with is because sometimes when we're using a lot of registers, and every time we do a syscall, we kind of lose control of what's going on. So we want to save our registers just in case. So we'll do push RBX, and that will save RBX to the stack. And I'm also going to push RCX, so that will save RCX to the stack. I'm just backing them up. I do a syscall, and after my syscall, I want to restore them. So pop, and I have to restore them. They're on a stack, and it's kind of a stack of papers type thing. And I have to grab the top one, which would be RCX, because that was the last one pushed on. So pop RCX. So restore RCX from the stack. And I'm going to pop RBX to restore RBX from the stack. Okay, so that is my print. It prints out the line, or the single character, I guess, and then I jump back into this loop again. So jump to my inner loop. All right, so what we have here is this inner loop. It goes in there. You have a RBX, which is set right in before you get in this loop. RBX is set to the number of columns. And then as it goes in here into this loop, it will go through and decrement it, and then go down through, print out a character, jump, and run again and again and again. However, if it is done with this loop, because it has 0 left, then it will go to the inner end, which should be right down here. So let's do inner end. So what do we need to do at the end of the loop? Well, we've printed out all the stars. Now we want to print out a new line. So we'll be write the new line. So it looks nice. So we'll move into RAX, the value 1. We'll move into RDI, the value of 1. We'll move into RSI, the address of the character. So it's right up here. You see there's a new line. So we want a new line. So right here, as a new line. And then we want to tell it that we're printing out just a single character. So move into RDX, value of 1. Okay. Now at this point, we do a syscall again, and we can just copy this text right here because it's the same thing. We just put it right down here. And then we print out that line right there. All right, so after we print out the new line, what do? Well, we need to know, do we have any more rows to print? So see if we still have more rows. All right, up here in this outer loop thing, what we did is we're decrementing. So we have this number of rows set. We're decrementing the number of rows in RCX. And so if it was 1 row at this point, it would be 0 right here, which means that you get down to this section all the way down here, and our RCX would then be equal to 0. So we can compare RCX to 0, and if it is 0, then we can just exit out. But if it's greater than 0, that means we have more rows to go. So we can jump greater than, and we're going to go back to our outer loop up here, all up here where we reset the number of columns and we start decrementing the number of rows. So outer loop. At this point, we are ready to exit the program. Exit the program. So if we don't jump right here, that means that we have 0 rows left. So how do we exit? Well, we do a move to x86 for our system exit system call. We move into RDI, the value is 0 for the return value, and we do a sys call. We don't need to back up any registers or anything like that because we're just leaving anyway. So then we do that, and we go ahead and compile it. So, well, assemble it. So you nasm, nest loop, -o, nest loop. But we're also going to be assembling this as an ELF64. So ELF64. So we assemble it. Oops, we need to assemble it as a .o. And then do LD nest loop .o nest loop right there. So we're going to now link it over to nest loop. Now we go ahead and run nest loop, and we can see it printed out 5 columns and 3 rows. So you can take a look at the code again. You can see I have it all set there. You have this outer loop and this inner loop, and the inner loop just goes again and again and again until it's done, and then it goes the outer loop and then resets the things and goes again. All right, so that's how you write a nested loop. Just make sure you, as you use more and more registers, you'll have to get more careful and make sure you back them up.